Hello everyone, my name is MansaMusa and welcome back to my channel, and today is episode 3 of the Comm Tower podcast. If you missed episode 2, check it out up here. In episodes 1 and 2, we've covered different aspects of the community. In episode 1, we covered just high-level play with Starflash. In episode 2, we covered the developer side of the community, talking to DevJ. In episode 3, we're going to a different focus now. We're focusing on the mapping side of Advanced Wars by Web. And today we have an absolutely amazing guest, a great member of the map committee. Give it up, everyone, for Monty.
Hello.
Let's go.
Thank you for having me on the Comm Tower.
Yeah. It's been a really good, fun time so far on the series, and we're really excited to have you. I think best thing to do is just go into introductions a little bit. So just off the top, what is kind of like your origin story, I guess, when coming to Advanced Wars, both in terms of introductions to the game, or did you play the cartridges or anything like that, and also going onto the Discord and becoming a member of the map committee?
All right, so I played the cartridge games back when they came out as a kid.
Yeah.
Of course, I sucked. Played really badly, did not know anything, but I liked the games. They became my favorite games. I played them on and off. And I think it was 2010 I found Advanced Wars by Web. I actually have an old account. I don't know the password anymore. But I didn't. I played for, it was like half a year or something like that. Then I stopped. Real life got in the way. Kind of forgot about the website too. And I rediscovered it in, I think it was 2020, 2021, something like that. I watched a random Manx video. And then I thought to myself, hey, that website exists. Maybe I could play
there.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I played a lot of Global League in the beginning, and I kind of got into mapping as well. The first maps I made were terrible, like C rank or below. Unfortunately, these are not preserved because I deleted them to make space. So you cannot look at my failures. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I got into mapping, and around the same time I joined the Discord as well. I don't remember anymore when I got my first A rank map. It took a lot of tries.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So to all mappers out there, don't be discouraged if you don't get A ranks immediately. It takes a lot of practice, let me tell you.
And
so
who was on the map committee at that time? Who was ranking your maps when you were trying to get stuff put in? Or is it kind of the same people as it is now?
Kind of, but I think Walker ranked all my maps. He's not on the map committee anymore, sadly.
Yeah, Walker was the big tagger back in the day.
Gotcha.
He was the only one with the confidence enough to tag A ranks, because I mean, pretty much for a little bit of backstory, because I mean, on behalf of the vast majority of people out there in the mappers, just a huge thank you to you, Monty, because before you, I mean, you also see it. Usually, the MC people aren't confident enough to give A ranks. It's easy to give a C rank, a B rank, or slap a new tag, because you're like, maybe it's good enough, but I need to really deep dive into this to put an A rank, because an A rank is a lot of responsibility, right? It's you're vetting that this map is decent enough for competitive play, that it's balanced enough, it's dynamic enough, it's not gonna stall. And so there's that push and pull. People are you have people that complain that A ranks suck, and people that also will complain, oh, there's no tagging of A ranks. And so for a long time, and you know this very well, Monty, for a long time we've had this huge backlog of new maps for like 2 or 3 years long of backlog.
Yeah.
And Walker was the only one tagging pretty much standard. He was just dedicated. He would do 10, 20 a week maybe. And then for a moment I stepped in and did a little bit of tagging as well, but it takes a lot of time. And then all of a sudden Monty came in, and the dude was like a freaking whirlwind. I could show you the categorization log. I don't know if you check it, Monty, anymore, but it tells you how many tags each map community has done in the past 30 days, and it was like everyone has like 5, maybe 10 in a month. A lot have 0. I must be at like 2 maybe, but Monty has like 300, right? And at a certain point, you had like 700, and I remember taking screenshots. Like, how? How do you tag so many maps? Like,
So I think it was kind of lucky that I had a lot of time on my hands when I joined the MC.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think I joined back in August. I think August 2024, around that time. I was asked to join, and that was the ideal time because I just was finished with my PhD. I had my new job lined up, but it was going to be a few months until that job was going to start. So, and I had not a lot to do in that time, and that was exactly the point at which I was approached to join the MC. So that was ideal. I had something to do, something to kill time. And the users were getting their maps ranked. So it was win-win, I guess. And I also was personally annoyed that you had to wait like 1 year just to get a rank on your map. And
Yeah.
I mean, I was mapping too, and it just was annoying me. So I thought to myself, why not do something about it? So, I mean, it is true. It's kind of hard to A rank maps because you have to look at a lot of different aspects of the map. You have to do a lot of tests. I think I just started out with maps that I knew had problems, that were either like wrong tank order or chokiness, something like that, that you can spot immediately. So I started with those, and I gradually became more confident. But I think it did take like 1 or 2 weeks until I was confident enough to A rank a map, because it really is not easy.
yeah.
So and you also kind of have to do, I would call it aftercare. Like you have to check up on the map. Like how does it perform? Are people complaining? Has some sort of cheese been found? All those things. So just A ranking it, it's not done. You have to check
Yeah.
back from time to time. Yeah.
Doesn't it happen to you that you're like, ooh, this map looks a little bit broken, but it looks like so much fun and experimental. I really want to A rank it. And then you're like, let's give it a shot. I'm gonna A rank it. But then you're like kind of like sweating. You're like, hopefully no one.
You just see the ratings come in and they're all like 1s and 2s on the map.
And then you're like, ooh, like maybe it was a success, it's a huge success, but maybe it's like completely broken, and you're like, ooh, okay, let's just B rank it.
No, I mean, I do actually give bonus points if a map is experimental, but it has to be, I mean, it's hard to explain, but it has to be experimental in the right ways, I guess I would say.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's also something I should mention. Ranking maps is to some degree opinion. It's not just facts. You don't just look at the map and have a checklist and check everything. I mean, that's part of it, right? But
Yeah.
it's not the whole story. I mean, if I personally think the map could be fun, I would A rank it, but another MC member might think differently. So
Yeah.
not that easy.
It's part facts, part vibes, pretty much.
Yeah.
So would you describe the process? So obviously, A ranking a map is something that takes a lot of time and getting to that process, but especially by doing so many tagging maps in this process, what is your checklist of like the top 3 things that you can just immediately say? One for C rank maps, but even B rank maps of like, I only need 20 minutes and I can guarantee you that this is not going to be an A rank map.
So what I do is, first thing, I just look at the map, obviously. I check if it's too choky, like if you have lots of one-tile choke points, lots of narrow pathways that can be easily blocked, stuff like that. You can also look at the FTA counter if it's correct, because if it's not, then the map is not gonna be balanced probably,
Yeah.
or not as balanced as it could be at least. So these are the immediate things you can check.
Are you looking at
So,
front
and if
shifting
these,
lanes too?
yeah, if the map just has like I don't know, it's not an A rank if the map has like 2 or 3 lanes and you just can't front shift at all. That's not a dynamic map. So
Rush with Death is an S rank map.
yeah, but I mean you can kind of front shift, kind of. If you burst the seams, if you build air units, so and it also is an older map, so I guess
It's
if
grandfathered in.
someone
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it would get A rank if someone sent it in today, honestly, because today I get the feeling that we put much more emphasis on dynamic gameplay. Maybe back then it was different.
Yeah. There's also that
So-
extra base there on an island that
Yeah,
anyone
that-
today would be like, why is that there? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today we would probably say,
what's
can you
this
not just put one infantry there or something?
Yeah. True.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I mean, Brush with Death, it would probably not get A rank, maybe, but it does work. So there is some merit to actually A ranking stuff that seems experimental or a bit out there. I mean, you can always down rank it if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my approach. If I see a map that does something new, something clever, then I give it bonus points. And if everything else is good, but I'm not sure about the gimmick, then I probably A rank it as well, just to see if it works, if people like it.
Yeah.
And if that happens, then all is good.
Yeah. I think allowing that experimentation and
Yeah.
innovation is definitely a very important part. There was definitely a certain point of the MC that it became very stagnant. I feel like you have like players, competitive players want a very different thing than what mappers want, right? It's like literally the opposite. Like mappers want to experiment, they want to make crazy stuff and innovate and throw, 1 HP black bolts here or there or whatever it is. And competitive players just want like simple, I want a 2 base, 1 base, 1 airport, and I just want to win them tactically and like be it simple. So you have like opposing, right, interests by these two people. So finding a common ground is fun, and experimenting also makes it so it's not as toxic, I guess. And then we have new maps and allow for crazy stuff.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I do think. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think it's an interesting dynamic where I think mappers are looking for the map to be the star, and the competitors on certain maps are looking for the gameplay to be the star. And I think trying to find that overlap where it's both is really, really hard, and like that's where some of the best maps of all time have like nailed that balance.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I think there's a lot of untapped potential still with mapping. I mean, last year we kind of had the phase where every map had pre-deployed missiles. Doesn't matter if it was fog, if it was standard.
Yeah.
You always had a missile. Full HP, half HP, 1 HP. Didn't matter. You had the missile. And we did get a lot of great maps from that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe next year we have a lot of rocket maps or something.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
like
free-to-play.
four base fog maps now. I think we have 1, maybe 2 in the global league. Like there was a new rotation, so definitely like experimenting a bit more with different base counts on different modes. So that's been really cool. I agree. There's definitely a lot of untapped potential, especially with the new HP setting of units.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you're not limited to a pipe seam that is freaking hard to destroy. Those things, you need 3 turns for an RD to break it. Like, come on. But like a 1 HP, 2 HP black bolt, you send a tank, you can take it out in 2 turns. Like it's way less of a commitment, and it can definitely shape a lot of the capture phase and reinforcements in general. I feel like that is still very, very unexplored. I would love to
Yeah.
see more of that.
Yeah,
Um,
that was something I kind of want to bring up. It's just a natural transition, but just like how much do you think that update in general will actually like change the mapping process? Not even just different opportunities for people, but also like FTA counters and more possibilities there. Yeah, like long run, how important do you think that update will be?
I mean, for FTA counters, it's kind of difficult, I would say. I mean, if, for example, let's say you put an HAP infantry somewhere, and one player has to pay the repair cost. So
mm,
you have one player that still has 800 gold lying around, and you don't really know if that will make a difference in the long run or not. So it's not really a clean FTA counter, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that can work. I mean, maybe.
I think I
I
saw
mean,
one.
people have.
So I was just
Yeah, I
gonna
mean,
say,
people have. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say I think there was one that I saw that was really interesting where it was like you have someone where they're guaranteed after the fight to be on exactly 9 HP on their infantry, so it like slows down a part of the capture phase because they have to they're gonna essentially get the base one turn after because it's going to be on 9 HP because there was like a low HP infantry on the base itself as that as an FDA counter, and I thought that was
Yeah.
interesting. But yeah, the income recovery if you wanted to heal that infantry. Also, yeah, it goes back into some interesting dynamics. I don't know. It just all seems unique, but not necessarily good. Is how I would describe it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think some mappers have tried it with a cruiser, or was it a carrier,
Mm.
a sub,
where
I
you
think
get
it
a,
is because it's 20. No?
yeah, or a sub, right? So there you get a clean amount of funds, I guess. No, like 800. It still is in the thousands, but the problem is you have to have a lot of pre-capped properties to make it work. So
Yeah.
Mm,
it's not that clean either, I would say.
mm.
So yeah, but maybe there's a setup that actually works.
Mm.
Haven't seen it, unfortunately, but the unit HP thing is great because now you can put like 1 HP black bolts, 2 HP black bolts on the HQs, for example,
Yeah.
just to give them some soft protection from Sammy cheese, I guess. So that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, FTA counter wise, I don't know if people will find a really clean one. I hope so, but I have not really seen it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Even as the like anti cheese thing with 1 HP black boats, I think that was really important, and I think
Yeah.
I've also seen it in the fog space. We're using spies that are already on low HP that are like meant to be killed by day 7 or
Yeah.
something. I think that's also like another nice use case of that update.
Mm,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, the 1 HP recons spying.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. So you can take it out with an infantry. It doesn't generate a lot of charge, which is also very significant in fog.
Mm.
So, and it's also interesting. I didn't know, but 1 HP recon does not deal enough damage to like it doesn't deal 10% to an infantry, even if it's like a
Yeah.
Jess recon. I'm not sure about max, but so you
Like
can just
a
like throw the
combat
infantry on a
recon?
road and what?
A Kanbei recon or a grit power
Oh,
recon.
I mean, yeah. If we see Campe in fog, then that'll be a day.
Yeah.
But maybe with the 4 base maps now in fog, who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, this is another one I was curious about. So when you're in the tagging process, how often do certain CEOs like either fully break or like semi break a map that you've seen? And like which of those CEOs is like the worst offender of like they're always kind of stopping that map from reaching A rank?
So, I mean, the classic case is the transport boost COs, right?
Mm.
If you on a lot of fog maps, like if you have a lander, a B boat, it can actually happen that player one gets the neutral base first if he
Oh,
picks a
yeah,
transport CO.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
yeah.
So, but I mean, otherwise,
Like I think a few that were off the top of my head was like Sasha on certain funding curves breaking stuff. or like just having access to units too early, like getting a tank out too fast and breaking some essential cities, or something like
Yeah.
well, what was the other one I was thinking of? Kindle just being way too overpowered on high income maps. Like that's kind of like a semi break, not a fully break, because obviously you can still beat her, but it's just like she's way too strong for her tier, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that much of a problem because we can just edit the tiers, like
Yeah.
if the map is used competitively. So that's not a big deal, I would say. Yeah, I mean, the transport COs are probably the worst because you can't just ban Sammy and Drake.
You can't ban
That would look weird.
Yeah.
I mean, the map maker has to fix that, right? So,
Yeah.
but if Kindle is OP, she just gets put into, I don't know, tier 2, maybe tier 1 even. So that's not the problem.
I had a question before maybe we move on to the next section, but usually like B ranks and A rank, like the boundary there is a little bit gray, right? Like it's a little bit
Yeah.
do you pull out a move planner when you're tagging maps to like see this is a B or is it an A? Do you look at income funding? Do you use any extensions like the tank order thingy, or what kind of tools do you use to kind of analyze, okay, this is, and like what are your your little checklist of like, okay, no, this is a B rank. Like what do you use, and what is it that determines if something just falls down to a B rank perhaps?
So I just use the move planner enhancement, I think it's called.
Yeah.
The one where you can just play the turns and the funding is updated correctly and stuff.
Yeah.
I just use that one. The tank order calculator, I don't find that good because I think it does not show you if someone has surplus funds after a turn or something, and that's important too.
Yeah.
So I don't use that. And basically, if a map has new, I always move planner it. I mean, that's just the point where you can't just look at the map and say, okay, this is B, this is C, this is A. You have to move planner it. I think at least I have to. I'm not that good at reading maps. So new maps, I always move planner. And then I look at tank order, obviously, funding, like does one player have funding advantage? Like, for example, if one player gets a four city chain on one base and nothing else on the other base, I mean, the player who gets the chain first probably has an advantage because he gets more funds, right? Yeah. So you look at stuff like that. Also, you have to look at the front line, because otherwise you can't tell if the map is going to stall. You need interesting frontline terrain, at least in standard, so it doesn't stall. What do I mean by interesting? Like, I see a lot of maps that usually get B ranked that just have cities, and around the cities you have lots of plains, maybe a few roads. And then the problem is the defender can just sit a tank on the city. What are you going to do? If you attack into that, you're taking a lot of damage. You probably need backup units to sit on the city yourself. And then it just gets stally. Usually. I mean, there are exceptions. That's why you have to move planner it to see. Maybe it still works, but a lot of the time it does not. So you have to look at that. So, and if tank order is correct, if it doesn't stall, if it has interesting terrain, then I check tank movement ranges. So I just create a tank on each base and move it 1 or 2 turns to see if the tank can full move onto a city or high defense terrain, because that takes a lot of the decision making away. If you just build a tank and you see, okay, I can full move it to the front line. There's a city, I can sit there. And it's even worse if it's on the second turn, because by that point you are very close to the front line usually. So you just have a nice little pathway that you can just move along the tank along, and yeah, there's no decision-making process. You get to full move, you get to sit on high defense terrain. So, I mean, it's a different story if next to the city there's like a silo, so you can still be attacked reasonably.
Good
But
point.
yeah, that is something that you have to check too, because that can make the map stally too. If you can just sit there, full move, sit there, be protected, that's usually not good.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
basically, what you have to look like is, I mean, it's a good sign if I move planner the map and I have to think a lot in the first turns already. That's good. Because then you probably have a map that has a lot of decision making involved, a lot of options, a lot of ways the game can go, the capture phase can go. So that already is good.
It's interesting to hear that dynamic too of like what makes it good from a mapper or a map community perspective and what makes it good from a competitive player's perspective. Because I have those maps all the time where I'm like I get to day 2 and I'm like, oh, I'm one movement away from being able to be on the city, and now I have to be on the road, and like I'm frustrated as the player. I'm like, why did the mapper make this easier for me? And it's like, oh, that's actually because it made it a better map. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just
Yeah, I
play
mean,
it out and pop my power.
there's definitely, yeah, there's certain exceptions. I feel like when in certain like one base areas that are like very weak, sometimes it's good
Yeah.
for maps to have that safe like full movement, so they're not like totally wrecked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny because when you're again like what I was saying, like you have the mapper and the player, and sometimes you are those two at the same time. Maybe you're
Yeah.
playing on a map and you're like, ah, why is it so annoying? Why can't I go full movement onto this tile? And it's like, yeah, it's intentional. Now you're struggling. You're like, oh, do they move it full movement? Do they move it 5, 4? Like it kind of makes you fall back. Yeah, it's this mapping is tough, man. It's
Yeah.
maybe tougher than playing. I don't know. I don't know.
I would say so.
Maybe, yeah.
I guess
I
to
mean, you
kind of
have to have played a lot to be a good mapper, I would say,
True.
because you have to have the feel for what works and what does not, and you can't get that by not playing.
Yeah. Monty, what do you think is so we talked all about map tagging, right? Now we
Yeah.
can relieve you of that pressure of talking about the responsibilities of tagging. Now we can just talk about you being as a mapper. What's your usual approach to mapping in general? Like, what do you think is like your general style, or what do you like to achieve in your maps? Not necessarily like what you look on other people's maps, just like your maps. When you sit down to make your maps, what's your approach? You start with a gimmick. Do you, I don't know. You're like very showery. You're like, oh, I want to make a 5 base map. I don't know. Like, what are your thought processes and what gets you down to mapping?
I mean, it really depends, I guess. I mean, if I have like an hour of free time, I say to myself, okay, let's make a baseline map that can be done quickly. So, I mean, and there are certain concepts I want to test myself. Like last month I made, I think it was like three base mixed maps because I wanted to test a certain FTA counter. So I just made these, made sure they play okay, and threw them into Live League. I'm sorry. Let's see if they work. So yeah, sometimes I want to test something. Sometimes I'm just bored and make a map just for the fun of it. Sometimes there's a specific reason. I remember when I made Looming Threat, I kind of got annoyed that everyone was picking Max on mixed base map. Then I said to myself, okay, I'm gonna make a mixed base map where Max is terrible. He's not that terrible on it,
Yeah, I was
but
gonna say,
he's
people,
kind of terrible.
I remember watching that tournament in the first few matches, and then people were still picking Max, and I was like,
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do have different approaches. It depends, I guess.
This is one that we didn't have planned, but it's kind of an interesting follow up to what you were talking about with like the live league thing or the live league aspect of it. How valuable do you think that is for actually getting like community feedback on maps? Because obviously global league is so closed off, right? Like it needs to be like pretty much a perfect map, or like near perfect enough in order to get to global league because it's obviously going to be played by a lot of
Yeah.
people. But with live league, it feels like there's much more opportunity to kind of put something a little bit more experimental or avant-garde out there, and then still have players play it.
Yeah. Right. So Live League is kind of my testing ground, I would say. I do a lot of experimentation with CO tiers, maps in general. Sometimes I just throw in a map, see if it works or not. So, but obviously the maps have to be balanced. I don't just put in anything.
Right.
So, but Live League is also good because we get players to test global league maps. A lot of Live League maps are reused in global league. So that's great also because it can be kind of hard to get map testers. So the less maps we have to test, the better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a difference now between how live games play out than async, but it definitely
Yeah.
gives you a general idea. And also, in the defense of the map community, of using Live League as a like a, how do you call it, like a testing ground, is that there's not that many Live League games. All right, like what is like maybe like 2 or 3 high level games a month on a specific map. Global League, you put a map on the Global League, and it's like I don't know, thousands, hundreds of matches are created on that map. So it's like the amount of vetting that it requires to be on the Global League is way, way higher because
Yeah.
it's easy to put out a fire in a live league match. You just, I don't know, you just B rank or get it out of the live play. So it's only one match that, oh, this happened. Where trying to put out a fire on hundreds of matches because the Global League map wasn't vetted very quick, very well. It's like, ooh, that's a tough ask.
Yeah.
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 And I think it's
Yeah.
understandable in live league too because it's like you're both being thrown into the same thing, whereas you have to like figure out the map in those 10 minutes or however long that you have. Right? It's not something like let me take 3 days to figure out this map. You know what I mean? So I think it's more understandable.
Yeah. Right. And like you said, it's you also don't get that many top games in Live League, so you have to take what you can get as MC member. So if you can get top players to test the map, that's always good. But unfortunately, you can't always get them.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. I was gonna ask you, Monty, like, what is your favorite mode, like out of standard, high funds, fog, both as a player and as a mapper? Because I feel like most of your maps are standard, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. So, I mean, you just have to look at my profile. I play almost exclusively standard. So, and that kind of makes me feel that I'm not really the right guy to rank fog and high funds map. Obviously, I know what makes a good fog map, what makes a good high funds map, but I don't really play those modes myself. So that's a problem. So if anyone wants to join MC and look at fog and high funds map, be my guest. No, but I mean, I'm a standard player. I do make a lot of standard maps. So yeah, standard is my favorite mode by far.
Do you think the heavy naval style that we see like often not often, but we see sometimes in high funds, do you think that could possibly work in standard if a map is big enough? Because like generally what I've seen before is that like naval units are just so expensive that you can't build them on standard or really even in fog unless it's like a desperation battleship. And that's why you see it more in high funds. Is that something that can be fixed by the map, or is it just something that's like it's just not going to really be in standard?
So maybe it could work with that standard plus FTA counter that Soul for Rent made. Maybe if you have that, then you actually have the funding for ships. Maybe. I don't think anyone's tried it. That could work, maybe.
We've seen, I think mostly by Dr. Nasty, he's done these like where most of the map is already captured. You remember those, Monty? Like,
Yeah.
and there's like maybe 2 cities that are neutral, but like most of it is captured. That would be kind of an interesting thing to play around with. It definitely played, I wouldn't say well, but it played better than what I was expecting. It's like hard to
Yeah.
be like, oh, this doesn't, because they're still fighting and like there's still decisions to be made. So it's like, I don't know, there's different, it's very different from what we were used to, like building infantry, capturing. And by day 6 or 7, you have tanks staring at each other kind of thing.
Yeah, but I do think if you have a lot of stuff pre-captured, that takes something away from the map, I would say. Because ideally, you want to have interesting decisions in the capture phase, and if everything or almost everything is pre-capped, you kind of don't have that. So I think you have to find a balance there. I mean, you can have stuff pre-capped, but not too much. And and I think those maps had too much stuff pre-capped. I mean, maybe it's possible to find a balance. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah. It's interesting.
What do you think of mixed base maps? Do you think they're better than non-mixed base? There's a lot of people out there that love them. Some people hate them.
I mean, I like mixed base, but the chances are high that you will have to think a lot more than in a normal map. So sometimes you're probably not in the mood for that. I can absolutely understand that. But otherwise, I can't really say if mixed maps are better. I mean, it depends on the map.
Well, I mean, you
Obviously.
can be subjective about it. You can give
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
opinion.
I mean, my favorite map is Lucifer, so that's not mixed.
Is that the one with the
So
pipe
if
scenes
I
in
had
the
to,
Mm,
that's the one with the harbors, the 3 base harbors in the middle.
made by Voice of Akasha has these
Oh,
like
yeah.
mountains and plains.
Gotcha. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of a different map.
So yeah, so if I had the choice to play on Lucifer or Caustic Finale, I would probably choose Lucifer, but it depends. I mean, I might have days where I say, okay, let's have a crazy mixed base map.
And
So I'm not
I-
against mixed base.
so that as a player, but as a mapper, how do you go about doing a mixed base map? And this is just a me question because I've never made a mixed base map, so
Yeah.
I need some help.
So my approach to mixed base mapping is I think to myself, okay, let's just give the players an interesting sandbox, right? So they make their own strong side, they make their own weak side. Just set up the map in a way that allows that, and you're probably good.
Okay. Just throw stuff around and let them figure it out. Okay.
Yeah, just don't make it too obvious. Make it very sandboxy. A lot of things are possible, but not forced. Something like that. Yeah.
One thing that I'm
Got it.
curious about with mixed-based mapping is like, how do you make it a little bit more noob friendly? Because like one of the biggest complaints that I hear from mixed-based, and I had this complaint too when I was 800, 900 elo, is that it's just too easy to lose too quickly. Like it's like day 7 and you just didn't make the ideal tank in the correct spot because you didn't realize that was the weak base, and then you built a tank there and you're already kind of losing. Whereas like in a standard map where it's one side and one side, it takes like 12 or 13 days to really get into a position, and even if you have a bad turn, you're not completely out of it. Whereas in mixed base, if you have a really bad turn, you've probably lost on the spot. What is the best way to kind of get around that? Is it a mapping decision? Is it really just kind of all on the players? Like how do you make mixed base a little bit more noob friendly?
I mean, you can make the map a bit bigger, I guess. That makes it noob friendly because you have room. If you see, oh, I'm losing, you can just fall back. You can probably not do that on Caustic Finale or something. If you fall back, you lose like 2 cities and then you're done, basically.
Yeah.
But if the map is bigger, it should be more noob friendly. So that's one thing you can do. Otherwise, I mean, it depends on the map. Again, if you have like a 3 base mixed map, for example, then the players have to figure out which base is the weak one. You cannot really help them. They have to figure that out. So But otherwise, I mean, if you have like a 2-base with good terrain around it and versus 1-base, 1-airport, it's probably easy to tell. Yeah, the 2-base is probably stronger. I mean, it depends, but usually you can see that. So, yeah. I think ideally, if you want to ease someone into mixed base, play a bigger map with them, and don't play a map where you have just a bunch of 1-bases sitting around, and you have to look at it and you have to know, okay, that terrain is good, that terrain is bad. These contested properties I can probably get, these I will not get. So you probably want to have something that's very obvious. Like you look at it and you see, okay, I have a 2-base here. That 2-base looks very defensible, very strong. It can capture this comm tower, those cities. So yeah, to sum up, for noobs, I would say you want a map that is easy to read and that is probably on the bigger side. That would be my recommendations.
Yeah, I feel like in mixed base, kind of what you were saying, Mansa, it really is like by day 6, a game might be decided, but I think it has to do a lot with like infantry movement is so much more crucial in mixed base than it is in like a non-mixed base.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things to go around, like, and you have to decide, oh, do I send from this base to that front or that one, and then from this base, like, there's so many options. And one misstep can mean that you're not getting that city because you'll have like one-on-ones all the time around the map instead of like army against army. So all those things, all those decisions and CO day-to-days matter a lot. So yeah, it's very interesting from mixed base. I guess it's just like getting used to the chaos. I don't know.
Yeah.
We could probably move on to the next section, which is questions from the community.
News section.
Golden Evil said, which we kind of already went over this. He says, I'm curious about the ranking process. What are you looking for when ranking maps? So yeah, I guess we already went over this.
Yeah.
We could probably move on to the next one. Banana Basket says, who is the favorite map maker from retired ones and current ones? Spicy. Like, who's your favorite map maker?
Let's see. I mean,
besides yourself.
So retired ones, Voice of Akasha. He has made so many great maps. It's insane.
Yeah.
Current ones. I mean, just speaking about overall map quality, it's probably Gorilla. He does make a lot of great maps, and so many that it's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how. I think he makes them on his phone. He said, or
that seems even crazier to me.
Yeah.
But he just like will make 3 or 4 maps a day, and like they have a high chance of being A ranks. It's crazy.
Silver's asking, how do I bribe Monty to get my maps in quicker? What is
PM me. I will send you my PayPal.
Good to know. Good to know. And then the serious one from Silver was, how do you make your maps more dynamic? We covered this one a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like the one main thing to make a map more dynamic.
Probably a good rule of thumb is probably use all or most of the terrain tiles, especially on the front line.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And this one was kind of like an experimental question that Andrea was asking. He was asking, how much of a nerf would it need to be in order to have a player match where one person has fog and the other person doesn't have fog, but the person that has fog has a tier advantage? So, for example, it would be like a Adder versus Colin game, for example, but Colin's in fog and Adder is not in fog. Like, do you think that kind of match could work as like almost like a Quack Cup type of game, depending on the map?
With equal skill, right? Like this is like equal skill level players, I assume.
I mean, that probably depends heavily on the map, right? If you have a map with a lot of mountains and stuff, then it's probably not so bad for the fog player. Maybe if you, for example, you have a 4-base map and you have a lot of mountains. You have a lot of infantry that you can sit on the mountains. It's probably not that bad on a map like that. Yeah, it depends heavily on the map, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like that and like how safe you can keep your recons feels like very important.
Yeah.
That would be a very interesting match though if if someone wants to do that. Where, yeah, I would definitely commentate that match if that match happened.
Yeah, that'd be some good content for sure. I guess what we can do here, we're not gonna look at maps, but what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you the names of the mappers, and you have to describe them really quickly in no more than 3 words. Like, what are their, I don't know, maybe their classic gimmicks, or like what you kind of attribute to them. So we're gonna start with Boom.
I mean, he has made a lot of maps, so it's kind of hard. I feel like he has done everything.
It has to be only 3 words. Like, for example,
Yeah.
you know, Rise, you can say like a lot, too many silos. I don't know, you know, like something like that. Or like crazy contested bases. I don't know, like, like
All right. So
I think 3 words.
I would say traditional and good.
Okay. Gorilla.
Lots of maps.
Voice of Akasha.
Insanely well balanced.
Banana Basket.
Pre-deployed unit gimmicks.
Soul for Rent.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
That was more than 3 words, but
I think we'll allow that one. Yeah.
Last one, Monty.
The hardest one of all.
The curveball.
I mean,
The best maps.
nah.
Objectively best.
I would say sometimes good maps.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, it's interesting to definitely hear like the different styles. 'Cause I agree, there definitely is. When I'm playing a map, I'm like, I think I know who made this map before I'm even checking, because like I'm looking at the map always, but not always the creator. And then I get like halfway through the match, and I'm like, this is a Soul for Rent map for sure. You know what I mean? And then I go back.
I feel like Gorilla and Bum are very similar in their styles.
Mhm.
And I think it has a lot to do because Gorilla used to go a lot to Bum to get advice on how to map. So I think he's kind of gotten that. So it's kind of hard for me to tell which one is Bum's and which one's Gorilla. I feel like Gorilla uses a bit more of terrain, like more forest and silos and that kind of mountains. But yeah, it's kind of hard. Voice of Akasha is like, I feel like the best way to describe Voice of Akasha is like, it looks like a card map, but it's very well balanced. Like, it looks pretty like a card map, but it's well balanced and dynamic. I don't know how the hell he does it. It's crazy. And then the rest are pretty accurate. Banana Basket and Soul for Rent are just crazy. And Monty, you're like Gorilla. It just spams maps high quality. So, but you use a lot of terrain. You use a lot of mountains and forests. You love to use those too.
Yeah. I mean, I had a phase where I was just making shoal maps, so I had that too at one point.
Yeah. As a battlecopter enjoyer, I appreciate the heavy mountain and heavy forested maps. Going on to our last like big topic here, I guess we have an idea of doing like a little bit of a map Jeopardy game as to kind of to close things off here. So the thesis of this is we're going to give you descriptions of maps, a little bit about the map itself, and maybe like a tagline of the map, and then it's going to be your job to try to guess what that map is. And we have hints for you if you need them, but we'll see how many you get. Does that sound good?
All right, let's do it.
And let's say you have like about, I don't know, 10 seconds or so. Like, you have to guess them pretty quick.
On a shot clock. Okay, here we go with question 1. This first map is a 4-base, 2 airport, and 2 comm tower map. It is a mixed base map, and it has a pre-deployed artillery.
That's Looming Threat.
Hey.
Very well done. We tried to trick you off the top, but yes, very well done. That is Looming Threat. Number 2 is a 3 base map. It has 1 airport. It is a Global League Hall of Fame map, and 20% of the tiles are mountains.
20%. No, I don't know that one.
We actually did. I realized that we didn't have a hint for this one. I think.
Yeah, we have no hints.
I think.
We could say a hint is pivots are the most important thing on this map.
I also think it's been in Global League multiple times. Like it's been in Global League, then out, and then back in.
Oh, and
Is
there's
it New Kids? New
there's
Kids,
one
maybe?
there's one
No,
city
it's
in
not
the very
Hall of Fame.
center of the map.
Oh, it's a Hope
know-
Forlorn.
It is a Hope
Yeah.
Forlorn. Yeah, got there in the end. Number 3 is a 3 base map. It's a 1 airport map. It's a fog map, and it has square islands.
Like it's all squares. Like a,
Oh, that's what's it called? Nightmare of Heian Q?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
nice.
Do you want to do the last 2, Humita?
Sure. This one is apparently, I didn't know this, the most favorited Hall of Fame map. I wonder what that number is. It is also the highest income map on standard funds, like not high funds, right? Standard funds that has been on Global League. That's all the hints I'm gonna give you.
Yeah.
Unless you want one more.
This one's like the challenge question.
Yeah, it's the hard one. This one is 3 points worth.
I looked up the favorited on this one. I think it's just under 800 total favoriteds.
Whew. Damn.
That many.
Yeah.
Highest
I
income.
would have guessed. I would have guessed that it's the most favorite one is Caustic Finale, but apparently not.
Classic Finale is number 2.
So I think. Right. So I think I need a hint.
The hint is the name of the map is also a historical city. Like the name of a historical city. I'm not sure what other hint we could give.
The other hint, I guess, is it's a fog map.
ABC opener is very classic to be used there. I don't know if that helps. I guess you're not
No,
that big of a
I don't
fog
know
player,
that
so-
one. I'm not a fog player, no.
Okay. It's Stalingrad. It's the highest
Right.
income map.
Right.
I think it's 27K.
Yeah.
Really?
I think it's the highest. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure because Celeste is like 25, I think, split.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Stalingrad is 27. Unless there's been some new map that has higher income.
I think the only thing that could be maybe beating it are some of those like massive 1v1 fog Global League maps. I forget what they're called, but there's one that's like almost as big.
Like
if not bigger. Chosen Reservoir.
Chosen Reservoir, maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I feel like Stalingrad is very, very high income. I don't know. Someone in the comment section is obviously gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's incorrect. It's not the highest income.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
And the last one, and this was probably the hardest one. This map is a 4 base map. It has no airport, no comm towers. It has 2, maybe 3 contested cities. And the income parity is 10.5K. Your face.
This one's in the weeds.
She's like, what?
Wait, so and it's for standard? What mode is it for?
Standard, yeah.
You can ask as many hints as you want.
I have a good hint here that's not even one that we put down.
Wait, did you mention if it's mixed?
It's not mixed.
It's
Is it
not
mixed? Not mixed. And what rank is it?
It's not a competitive map, let's just say.
Yeah.
Or it hasn't been on the global league or tournaments yet.
Okay.
I think it's
Let's just assume it's not an A rank.
yeah. It's
Doesn't sound like one at least.
But you most definitely know the map.
it's an old map for sure.
Oh yeah, it's an old map. Probably one of the oldest maps ever. Like in Advanced Wars history.
We have one big clue that we can give you if you need the big clue.
Yeah, I think I need it.
It's not symmetric.
And there's
It's
no
not
FTA counter.
Wait, what?
I guess also it's on a cartridge. It's a cartridge map.
And if you're on
Oh.
Discord, you see it all the time.
Oh, is it Span Island?
It is Sand Island.
Good job.
we threw a wrench in at the very end. Yeah. I guess a good example of what Nintendo made and then what the mappers can actually make in the competitive scene. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. My name is MansaMusa. Thank you so much for Monty for having us coming on the show. Again, if you missed episode 2, check it out up top. And thank you guys for watching. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you for having me. Bye bye.